Hi, imagine that you live in a world where everything you say, everything you do, everywhere you go, every thought you have or don't have is watched over. Like there's a camera pointed at you, a person looking at you, a person with their eyes on you every second of the day. How do you think would you would feel if you lived in a world like that? So today we'll be talking about George Orwell in 1984. It took me a while to read the book, but I'm finally done. So it is set in Oceania, and it's sort of a totalitarian country, but it doesn't outright say that it's a totalitarian. So what happens is apparently there's someone called Brother who looks over the citizens of Oceania. The Oceania has people divided into basically three categories: the inner circle of the party, the outer circle, and the proles. Inner circle, it's supposedly very close to Big Brother, and only few people can reach it. Second is the outer party. Outer party is everyone else who are, who have pledged their allegiance to the party and who carry out the goal, the principles of the party. And then there are the proles who are reckless. They have their own law. I mean, they don't have any law. They just live their life. They do whatever they want whenever they want, and no one really cares about them, especially not the party, because party is convinced that the proles will never rise up against them. So in this country, the party Nemia and Minuba, so the party controls everything, the history, the language, the media, even memory of people, okay? And there's basically no privacy. Like I said, whatever you do, whatever you say, think, go, wherever you go, it's all under the eyes of the party. So what happens is so what happens now is we're introduced to this character, Winston Smith. He probably in his 40s. He doesn't know how old he is. He doesn't even know what year it is right now more. So what happens is he works in the Ministry of Truth. So there are four ministries. There's Ministry of Love, Ministry of Truth, Ministry of Peace, and Ministry of Plenty. The names of the ministry themselves are sort of oxymoronic. Anyway, let's focus on Winston. So Winston works in the Ministry of Truth, and this ministry is the one that's concerned with, editing history basically. And they believe that the present can control the past, and whoever controls the past can control the future. So what they do is they get like a news clipping or gajabero information chi, and they have to edit it to fit the party belief and make it seem like the party predicted it. Okay, so let's say the party predict. So let's say today, let's say a massacre occurred in one part of the country. Now, what Ministry of Truth will do is they will collect Hemagi news and or put on news where put on new news where they will make seem like they predicted the massacre or the rebellion or the earthquake or whatever that's happening. They will make it seem like they predicted it, and if there's any evidence to the contrary, they will destroy it. So nothing is original. So Winston, personally, he sounds like a person, who's a regular member of the outer circle of the parties in Norway. But as we delve deeper, it turns out that he's having doubts because it three people they are killed because supposedly they betrayed the parties member, and they organized certain coup type on certain dates. But when he's working, he gets a newspaper clipping him where it clearly showed that those three people were somewhere else entirely, and they could not have possibly arranged the coup. So he's thinking, he's just having doubts about it. What he does is one day he goes to he goes on prol city in prols this is alujo, and he gets a diary and starts writing. And Kogi, whatever doubt thoughts he's having, he starts writing in the diary. Okay, chikale di glen beduzum mi jim dus chika duduzum thoria nanale, he is starting to grow a sort of a defiance, a sort of a doubt towards the party. Then the banner one day he bumps into a girl, and then the girl accidentally slips him, like, very detectively ninja style now, slips him a note now, it's I love you Lomo. Then they arrange a meetup. It's very difficult because you can't randomly go to a person and then say, hi, how are you? Lola, because then because the party believes that marriage, they it's not love marriage or anything, okay? They will just pick two people. If they're compatible, they marry, and sex is only for the purpose of reproduction and not for pleasure. And if the party feel that two people, they sort of have any emotion towards one another, they don't get them married. So Winston gets a letter. He realizes that the girl is in love with him. Then they arrange a meetup somehow, and they start the secret rendezvous, okay, sexual intimate rendezvous, and they start sharing things. And he realizes even the girl is a little skeptical of the party, but she's not willing to like rebellion organize behind bin with Modi. This goes on for a while, okay? This goes on for a while. They meet up in secret places. They start having intimate relations. They start having like little actual couple like moments. And then there's another character, O'Brien, like character Chiduwa. So that character is in the inner circle of the party, okay? But Winston somehow can't help but feel like he's also a part of brotherhood labbe dubade. So that's supposedly the re- rebelling party mein, or rebelling group mein, but nobody actually knows whether it exists. So brotherhood ki head is Goldstein labbe dubade. But so Winston can't help feel like O'Brien is part of the brotherhood labbe. So one day they Winston and Julia, the girl, they visit O'Brien, and O'Brien tells him, "Yes, I'm also part of Brotherhood, and yes, I also think that the party should go down, and some other form of governance, of system of governance should come." No, me, but and he tells Winston and Julia that okay, Anya Anya Biotalu, they set up a whole thing as to how they will be communicating and how this Brotherhood has a manual, a book. I need to read about it. So one afternoon, um, Winston and Julia, they're having their own intimate time. After that, he starts reading the book. In Read Biddewe Banara, he hears a voice, and that's when his life falls down. His he realizes that the rebellion he was harboring, he was planning towards, it's all an illusion, and he's taken into custody of the thought police. Then once thought police ki custody occasionally, he is beaten down, not just physically but emotionally, mentally beaten down, and to a point where he doesn't even recognize who he is anymore, and doesn't, not because he's like not, he's failing remember, it's just that he forgets that he even wanted something like that. So overall, 1984 was not just a dystopian. It's not just a dystopian novel, but it is also a kind series. It's a chilling reminder that truth is whatever those in power say it is. And when such things happen, when situation is like that, freedom dies. And the most horrifying part is we won't even notice. So tame party slogan rani se. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength.